What energy is in store for our holiday week? Welcome to the Weekly Wisdom. Hello, hello, hello. You are listening to or watching the Manifest on Purpose show. I am your host, of course. I am Kimbaley. I'm here to help you elevate to the conscious creator that we all know you are. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for sharing your time and energy with me today. Thank you for all of those you've invited. And thank you for subscribing here and on the website at Kimbaley, KIMBALEY.com. The God in me loves the God in you. We're going to get into this weekly wisdom, but before we do, let's hear the Astro-Numerology Forecast for today. And that forecast is courtesy of Astro-Numerologist LLoyd Strayhorn. It is Sunday, December the 22nd. The sun is in Capricorn. The moon is in Virgo, moving into Libra at 2:08 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's an 11 universal month, a 6 universal week, a 6 universal day. Today may find you at odds of wanting time to yourself. Yet, on the other hand, sudden or unexpected demands from family, associates, and friends. So, what are you to do? The answer is to go one step at a time to the point you're able to do a little bit of both. And the last thing you want to do as you go into the final days of 2024 is to do nothing at all, which will put you right back where you started. Remember, one step at a time. Taurus, Libra, and those born on the 6th, the 15th, and 24th are the ones likely to be on the cutting edge of this 24-hour cycle. That is our astronumerology forecast for today, courtesy of astronumerologist LLoyd Strayhorn and the Star 8 mobile numerology app. You can get the app so that you can check your forecast every day at a Star 8. ASTAR, the number 8.com. You can go to the Google Play Store, the App Store, or you can go to linktree/numbers in you. Please join astronumerologist LLoyd Strayhorn for 2025's Power Series. This is a series of powerful lectures for 2025. The very first one starts on January the 21st, and it's going to be the power of numerical cycles. It's going to talk about how to find the cycles, how to find your personal cycles, and how to understand them. You can click the QR code in the bottom right corner, or you can go to linktree/numbers in you. There's only a few more days until 2025. Are you ready? Are you prepared? Do you have the roadmap for next year? It's going to be a transformative year. Make sure that you get your astronumerology forecast, and you can get that for the entire year. Not only will it help you plan for the year, it goes step by step, going by each month to let you know what you can expect in the year of 2025. You can also get a compatibility report, and you can get a numerology consultation there at the same website, Kimbaley, KIMBALEY.com. And we're down to the final days of the 2025 Vision Board Mastery. You want to make sure that you're going to be in this workshop. Recently, I've been having downloads of more things that I'm going to add into this workshop. So make sure that you're there, because keep in mind, this is an 11 universal month. So ideas have been coming in about how this workshop is going to go, and you need to be a part of it. It's only a few more days left for you to sign up for it. Make sure you get it. Just click on the QR code at the bottom of the screen, or you can also go to Kimbaley.com. Now, let's get into the weekly wisdom. Before we get into the weekly wisdom, I'm going to tell you what the weekly wisdom is. The weekly wisdom is where we determine what energy we will be focused on for the week ahead. And I know this is important because it's holiday season and you may be around your family, you may be away out of town, and you want to know what the week is going to be like. I do that by using oracle cards, using my own intuition. I also use the numerology on the card. I start with the universal reading, meaning that this reading is for everybody. If you're listening to this reading, it's for you. And once I read the universal reading, I make it a little more personal. And I do that by reading the birthday numbers 1 to 9 and including the ruling zodiac signs. In order to find your birthday number, you just simply use the day you were born on. Say, for instance, if you're born on the 4th, your birthday number is a 4. However, if you're born on the 13th, you're going to have to reduce that number. So you would add 1 plus 3, and it brings you back down to 4. So your birthday number is still 4. After all of that, we're going to have an affirmation at the end of the session so that you can have a little encouragement for the week. But we're going to go ahead and get started with this universal reading. For the universal reading and the birthday number readings, I'm going to be using Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. And I'm also going to be using my Trusty Dusty Trust Your Vibes deck by Sonia Chapoet. And I use that deck as an advice deck. So I pull one card for the from the wisdom deck and one card from the Trust Your Vibes deck. So without further ado, let's get into it. And while you're listening, if you hear something that resonates with you and you want to get a little bit deeper, you can get an in-depth reading. All you have to do is go to Kimbaley.com and book your session today. Does anybody have any plans for the holidays? Drop your plans for the holidays down in the chat. Let me know what you're going to do. It never fails. One always falls. 33-6. And this is the chaos and conflict card. So this right here is really talking about the energy from our forecast for today. Chaos and conflict. There's somebody that may be going through something at this time that they may be trying to avoid. It may seem like chaos. It may seem like it may be conflict, but the energy that I'm feeling with this 6 right here is that everything is going to come out smoothly and perfectly for you. It's like you're trying to make it happen the way you think it's going to happen, but it's not designed to happen the way that you want it to happen, whatever this thing may be. There's perfect order in the universe. What you resist persists. So when you see things happening, just know that it is a positive change for your good. Everything that happens, it may seem like why is this happening to me? And it may seem like it may be something that is built just to be against you, but really it's not. And that's what you're going to have to understand as we go forward into this 9 year. What happens is we get used to and comfortable being in situations, and then when we get things that's going to push us out of those situations, then it feels like chaos and conflict. That's what this card is all about to me. This card is saying that you're trying to avoid the very thing that's trying to take you to the next level because of what it seems to be, and because you may be just a little bit afraid of change, the unknown, or what's about to happen next. And the next card is the 9 card. This is a Treasure Island card. This card right here is saying, for some reason, I feel like with that energy of the change, you don't know what's going to be on the other side of that change. But this card is letting you know, stop your worry, stop your fears, stop your doubt. Everything is happening for your good. Everything is happening to help you get to that buried treasure. You just have to stay the course. Stay the course. The 34-7 card is here. And what this card is saying, go deep within yourself. Take this time for solitude. Take this time to get to know yourself. Take this time for rest. That is what this card is saying, is take time for rest, because you already got a leg up on it. This card is saying it may look bad, but don't worry, because you got this. You got this, And then if you look at it, there's the mama bear and the baby bear is climbing on the back. And what this is letting me know is that you may feel like you can't do it, it's bigger than you. But when something is bigger than you, then something or someone is going to come in and help carry the load. So don't worry about it. Just take this time to rest. And the 12 card is here. And it says a change in the wind. So what this is letting me know is that it's a time for change. And see, this right here, this card is confirmation, because this is the first card, the conflict card and chaos. You see, underneath the outside of the horse, you see the zebra. But the change in the wind card is showing you the zebra, the full zebra. So this right here is showing that it's a transformation. And because this is the 3 card, it's saying that this energy is going to be something big. And you know what? I'm thinking about last time in the abundance reading, it was talking about something very good is going to be happening for the collective coming up. And what I'm feeling like is it's going to require this transformation. And by this being the number 12 card, and you already know that I talk about the number 12 card, and it's saying make sure that you're not being manipulated, make sure that people are not trying to get over on you. But what this is saying is this is a transformation taking place. So make sure that you're aware of what's going on around you in your life. Make sure that you're aware of the people in your life. So it's going to be some people that you may even have to cut out going forward in this stage. And those are going to be the people that are causing that what seems to be chaos and conflict. And now I'm going to read the advice card for the week, because that's the general reading. And the general reading is really all about there's a transformation that's about to take place, a needed transformation. But this is the awareness so that you can be prepared for it, so that when you see it, you know what it is. This is change. And the 31-4 card comes out. And the 31-4 card is telling you to pray. It's telling you to pray. Sometimes, what I heard when saw this card is that sometimes you gotta walk away. Sometimes you be tempted to kind of fuel the fire a little bit, but not this time. This card is telling you that now it's time for you to walk away. It's time for you to do something different. If something is trying to leave your life, it's time to let it go. Because what's happening is you're going to another level, and the level that you're going to, you're not going to be able to pack all of the stuff that you have fit into this level right here. Think about a mountain when we talk about leveling up, because this is what it's all about. You know, transformation. I'm going to say something different. This is the level up for you. So when I think about leveling up, I think about somebody that's about to climb a mountain. They start out on this journey, and it may be a new mountain climber. They may be climbing for the very first time. They have their backpack. They have it filled with pots and pans and tents and all of that stuff. And they start climbing the mountain. And as long as they're around the base of the mountain, everything's good. But when they start to come up in elevation, the climb gets a little harder. And the things that are in that backpack begin to feel heavier. So at that point, you're going to have to start letting some of that stuff in that backpack go. Oh, I may not need this after all. Let me take this out. Let me take that out. And then you climb up to another level. And guess what? The elevation is even higher there, and your backpack begins to feel heavier again. So that's what happens when you level up. As you go higher, whatever weight you have becomes heavier, and sometimes to the point that you got to let it go. So now is the time for you to level up. And since it's time for you to level up, you got to realize that some of this stuff is stuff that you are going to have to part ways with, things that you are going to have to let go. Whew, this is deep, and I like how it shows the whole picture. Like during the abundance reading, it shows that something great is coming ahead. And now in this reading, it's saying that yeah, you are leveling up, but not without that transformation first. That's pretty much. Now we're moving on to the number one card. If you're born on the 1st, the 10th, the 19th, or the 28th of the month, or come under the sign of Leo or Aquarius, you are a number one. In my book, the 21-3 card, another three. And this is talking about expansion again. But what this is telling me, number one, is in order for you to expand, it's some things you got to clean up, number one. It's some cobwebs up there in the top of the ceiling that you would have to get the broom and start pulling down, because you've been holding on to something. And the energy that I'm feeling with this number three is that you're attracting all of these people. All of these people seem to be so nice to you, and you're attracting these people and you do the best you can to entertain them. And there's points where sometimes you don't feel like letting go. But this card is saying that you're going to have to let go for your own sake. You have to pay attention to those who are around you and that are actually helping you on your journey versus those who are around you that just happen to be tagging on. Those are the ones that are making you carry the extra weight. But now it's time for you to go through and do that inventory and get rid of those things that are expired in your life and open the door for some newness to come in. So let's see what your advice card is, number one. Accept the gifts of the universe. Accept this time. And I said this earlier, what you resist, persist. And if you're not willing to allow, then you're resisting it. When you see that these things are changing in your life, accept them because you know that it is opening the door for the gifts. You have to be able to allow it to come into your life freely. And so you got to clean it up, number one. And now let's go on to number two. Born on the 2nd, the 11th, the 20th, and the 29th of the month. You are a number two. Or if you come under the sign of Cancer, your card is the number 17 card. And it's the Fates. Fates. And I feel like this is a beautiful card, probably one of the most beautiful cards in the whole deck, especially when you hear the message that I'm getting from this card. This card is reading to me that your patience is finally paying off, number two. It's like for so long you've been saying, what about me? What about me? I've been doing this for so many people and I've been doing that for so many people. So, what about me? When can I expect for something good to happen to me? Well, number two, that moment has arrived. You may already have noticed that you have begun to level up in your life. And if you haven't, just know that real soon you will be leveling up and it's faded. I always say about the number eight, and the 17 is the most fortunate of the number eight. When you turn the eight on the side, it becomes the infinity symbol. With that infinity symbol, it's no ending and no beginning. So, what that means is the energy that you have been circulating out all of this time is now about to come into your life and it's going to be faded. You're finally going to get some of the stuff that you deserve. And for cautionary reasons, just know that if you're a number two and you were not living on the positive side of the numbers, if you were not living the best life, then whatever you did is going to come back to you at this time. So keep that in mind as well. So, number two, that's good for you if you've been on your game doing for others, like treating others the way that you want to be treated, you're in the green. But if not, you're in the red. And let's see what your advice card says, number two. It says you're the boss. It's saying that you got this. Right now, this time, it may be a lot of people because when you add this card together, it's the 48 and it comes to the 12. There may be a lot of people that try to sway you one way or the other, or they'll tell you what's the best thing for you to do. Have you ever noticed that people always can tell you the best thing to do when you've already done all the hard work? This is saying you got this. You're the boss. You pay attention and you listen to yourself. Your intuition is just that strong. So you make sure that you're not listening to what everybody else say. You do what you know is best for you. Number two. So congratulations, number two. And we're going to move on to the number three card. That's if you're born on the 3rd, the 12th, the 21st, or the 30th of the month. Or if you're a Pisces or Sagittarius, you fall under the number 3. What's going on with you, 3? 13, 4. You at the fork in the road. What you want to do? Number 3, it's time for you to decide. You got to choose at this point. This is the number 4 card. This right here is telling you to go in the direction of becoming a builder. This right here is saying that you need to plan. That's why you're not able to decide what direction you need to go in next, because you don't have a clear strategy. And you not having a clear strategy sounds like you have not set proper intentions for what you want to achieve. Now is the time for you to go ahead and correct that. Yes, it will be chaos and conflict if you do not have a strategy. Because if you don't have that strategy, then you can be thrown off your center. So, number 3, this is telling you that you're going to have to develop a strategy. You're going to have to start with your intentions. Look at the big picture first. What's that big thing you want? And then once you find out what that thing is that you want, and we're not even going to say thing, because around here we're not manifesting the things, we're manifesting the life that attracts the things. So, what is the life that you want? Once you determine what life you want, you start to align, making a strategy to achieve all of those things that you would like to achieve. Then you know what direction you're supposed to be going in. And let's see what your advice card is, number 3. You need to do what you do best, number 3. You need to play. And this is the 11 card. You need to pay attention to your vision. Focus on that big vision that I just got finished talking about. When I hear the number 11, one of the things that I think about is the vision. So this right here is saying that you need to have a vision. And yes, there's times where you have to work, but you also have to have a healthy balance of play as well, because that's your energy. Number 3, you're that jovial type of person. So you need to be in that mode, that spirit, that energy of play. And if you think back, if you ever have read the Bible, in some of those scriptures, they talk about being childlike. That's a part of being childlike, being able to play, being able to have fun. When you're able to have fun with what you do, then you won't mind making and creating a strategy. Every time something seems like chaos, every time conflict comes up, just start playing. And that's a funny thing to me. And I don't know why this happens, but it's like sometimes some of the most Sometimes when some of the most serious things happen to me, my first response is a laugh. And people look at me like, why is she laughing? And I don't know, it's just something that has become a habit for me after all this time. But what it does is it helps me make light of the situation. So, number three, make light of the situation by having some fun. And that don't mean playing all the time now, because you know you got to do some work too. Speaking of work, let's move on to the number four. That's if you're born on the 4th, the 13th, the 22nd, or the 31st of the month. You are a number four. And you got the number 20 card. This is telling you you need to imagine. When you get into your imagination zone, you don't have time to worry about conflict, and chaos, because you're in that zone. You're imagining, you're having fun. And we always hear how the number four loves to work all the time. But four, please tap into your imagination. The imagination is so powerful. And this is the number 20 card. The number 20 card is the awakening. So that means that you're going to have to uplift and encourage others, number four. And if you can't figure out how to do it, you need to tap into your imagination. Not only that, when you're having trouble trying to decide what to do, or if you're having trouble finding out which direction you should go in, number four, you should trust your own imagination. There's nothing wrong with you having an imagination. It's completely natural. But a lot of people saying that imagination is child's play, people feel like you should not do it when you become an adult. But yes, you need to use your gift of the imagination. One thing I did when I was young in grade school, I read a lot, and my books would take me like all over the world, just traveling, learning different stuff. Even if it was fiction, there was always something that I could learn in a book. And what that did for me is it took me outside of my environment to different places. So for me, I saw a different reality than everybody else did. So sometimes you have to get into your imagination zone. That's why we're having this vision board workshop coming up on the 1st. You got to get into your imagination zone so that you can stimulate the subconscious mind to manifest your desires. What is your advice card for number four? And number four, I'm thinking this is all about your awakening. This is time for you to step into your spiritual nature, to elevate your consciousness. And wow, it's so crazy. Two things. First of all, you just heard me say if you're having trouble deciding, this is the decide card. Number two, we were talking about vision and imagination. And this is the number 29 card, 11. And I told you that number 11 takes us back to our vision. This right here is significant. This means that you need to take it to your imagination. You need to start visualizing the life that you want to live, number four. this is the time for that. Okay, number 5. If you're born on the 5th, the 14th, or the 23rd of the month, or come out of Virgo or Gemini, you on number 5. And you're between both worlds, number 5. And this is because it seems as if you can't make up your mind. You can't decide what you want at this moment. You just know you want something different than what you already have. And that's a number 5 trait too. You want something different. And you're going to have to really narrow your choices down, even if it's just to a few things. What is it that you really want? And this is the number 3 card. You pick the things that you want to do the most, that you love to do the most, and you believe in those things and you expand them. Number 5. That's what you have to do. You got 1,000,001 things that you want to check off on your list, but the best way to do it is not all at one time. The best way to do it is do things one thing at a time. And it goes back to what I said in the card earlier. You have to remember this simple math. Don't try to manifest the things, all the things that is on your mind, number 5. And I know that's a lot. Manifest the life that attracts the things that you want when you want it. And what is your advice card for today, number 5? Aura cleanse. And this is the number 5 card. It's a 32-5 card. So what this card is telling you really is to, and I'm simplifying, I'm just going to leave it as the 5. I'm not going to read the compound number. But what this card is telling you is that what's happening is you're listening to what everybody else is telling you. And I know this is an issue because this came up in the abundance portal for I think the collective last time. And so it's like so many people are telling you so many different things. And when you hear these things, you're like, oh, I want that. I want that. And really, you're not trying to manifest the things that you want. You're really manifesting what everybody else wants. And sometimes you wonder why these things don't show up in your life. And they don't show up in your life because these things belong to them. It's their vision, not yours. So sometimes protection is having boundaries. You know, one of my Caribbean friends always says, eat the meat and toss the bones. You don't be rude to people when they offer you advice or offer you information. You can take those things in, but at the same time, you be a person that has control of your own thoughts. And you be the person to make the decision about what's best for you. Sometimes that's the best way to protect yourself. You hear, but you don't hear. You're not being rude and saying, I'm not trying to hear that. But at the same time, you're like, I'm protecting my energy. I can't fall for everything that somebody tells me is the best thing to do, especially for you, number 5. Now, what about you, number 6, born on the 6th, the 15th, or the 24th of the month? Come under Libra or Taurus. What's going on with you, number 6? This one is always interesting to me. Okay. So you feeling All alone, number 6. This is the orphan card, the number 5. So maybe you feel conflict and you feel chaos, and perhaps you feel all alone because those things that were in your life that felt like they were supposed to be there, that felt like they were meant to be there, those things that you held on tightly to began to fall away. And the reason why these things began to fall away is because they really weren't serving your purpose at all. So at this moment, you may feel all alone. But what this card is telling you, perhaps this is the change that you need. You need to take that extra time to yourself. You need to find out who you are, because sometimes you can get so close to others for so long that you begin to forget who you really are. Sometimes you got to go within. Sometimes you got to go to self. You got to remember who you are. And this is the time for you to do it. That's how you're going to get through this. Yes, it may feel like chaos and it may feel like conflict, but perhaps this is where you need to be at this particular time in your life. Don't question what the Creator is doing. Question, how can you grow from it? Number 6. And let's see what your advice card is. Instant feedback. Number 9. This right here, since it's being number 9, is what you asked for. Sometimes we subconsciously make intentions. We don't know it. So sometimes, especially in this case, number 6, perhaps you have been asking for change in your life. You have been asking for that level up. But in order to do it, there were some things that you really had to let go of. See, sometimes we really don't even understand it the way we set intentions sometimes. Sometimes we set intentions for certain things, and the result of that intention is losing something that we never thought we lose, because that was something that was holding us back that we didn't even realize was holding us back. So subconsciously, you wanted to grow, number 6. You wanted to take things to the next level. But in order to do that, some things had to be left behind. And it made you feel as if you were all alone, but it's right where you need to be in this moment. I'm hearing study thyself. This is the time for self work, number 6. And we're going to move on to number 7. Born on the 7th, the 16th, or the 25th of the month, or come under the sign of Cancer, you are a number 7. 15-6, number 7. Messaging bottle. It's important for you, number 7, to trust your gut, because apparently there are some messages that may be coming in that's telling you about anything that you have experienced in your life. Sometimes these things are synchronistic and you may brush them off as if it's nothing. But what this card is telling you is to pay attention to every message that you're getting. And right now, the energy that I'm feeling, number 7, is that it is your dreams. There may be a series of dreams that you will be having soon if you're not already having them, or there may be one particular dream that you have had that just kind of stood out for you. Number 7, this is saying that you should be writing down your dreams, journaling your dreams, because sometimes these dreams are not just ordinary dreams. These dreams that are coming through may be messages, and it may be guiding you to the next level in your life. So pay attention to it, no matter how big or how small it may be. You never know what is coming from these dreams. And your advice card is, let's see. It's a team effort. This right here is the 37-1 card. And what this energy is telling me, number 7, and number 7, you had this card before. Number 7, you like to do things all by yourself, number 7. But this right here is saying that the message that's probably trying to come to you right now is letting you know that it's okay to allow others to help you. You don't have to always do everything by yourself. It's a team effort. If somebody is willing to help you, then let them help. I know sometimes you like to be in control of your own stuff. And I know that, you feel like nobody can do it better than you. However, sometimes it can help you rest to do something bigger if you have a team or some people to help you out on this journey. Because at where you're going in your life, how you're leveling up in your life, number 7, it's going to be huge. It's going to be bigger than you ever imagine. And when you get to that level, you're going to need help. So now get used to people being around. Get used to the help and learn how to say yes and stop saying no all the time. Number 7, you want to put yourself out there. I'll do this, I'll do that. But sometimes it's best for you to receive. In order to give, you have to receive. And in order to receive, you have to be able to give. So it's a two-way street. Just keep that in mind, number 7. Let's move on to the number 8, born on the 8th, the 17th, or the 26th of the month. Or if you come under the sign of Capricorn, you're number 8. This is the number 5. Your mind is still back in the past, number 8. This reading came back last week sometime. And then before that, you're still in the past. This card is letting you know it's time for you to get in the here and now. It's time for you to make a change, and it's time for you to be quick. And you're confused about what's going on is because you're trying to compare the past to right now. There's no comparison. Let me help you understand this. There is no past. The past is already gone. It's done. Over with. Like we used to say, it's dead and stinking. The future hasn't even happened yet. And that's strange because a lot of people worry about the future because anxiety is in the future tense. So people worry about the future and it hasn't even happened yet. It has not even happened yet. The only thing that you have in this moment is this moment. And I'm hearing enjoy it. Number 8. Mm. It's like things are coming up around you slowly but surely. It's starting to come up around you. You're starting to level up. But you can't see that. But because you're seeing how things used to be. But that's when you are on a whole nother level, number 8. It's a new season. It's a new season. And this picture right here, this young lady is sitting on top of the egg. It's time for something new. It's a new birth. Time to let that old stale stuff go, number 8. Time to move right on up. Let's see what your advice card says. See the solution. This right here is the number 1 card. Take charge and see the solution. Do something new. See the solution. Don't worry about the problem. Figure out the solution. The solution is in the present. Number 8. Now let's move on to the number 9, born on the 9th, the 18th, or the 27th of the month. You are a number 9. Or if you come on the signs of Aries or Scorpio or Leo. This is number 11 card. By the book. This means that you need your vision and you need to take it step by step. You need a plan, number 9. This is not about being just impulsive and doing what you want to when you feel like doing it. No, this is about you're going to have to get a plan and a regimen in place and do things by the book. You're going to have to see this vision all the way through. You begin, just like I said with one of the other cards before, you begin with the big vision. And then you figure out and strategize how to get to the big vision step by step. And you align with that strategy. You align with that plan until you begin to live the life of your desires, number 9. It's time to stop just jumping out there. Because when you just jump out there, things become hit or miss, hit or miss. You might get it, you might not. However, if you have a strategy, you know step by step what move you should make next. And not only that, if the next move doesn't work out the way that you plan for it to, you then are able to move on to plan B. And you can continue trying. So it's much easier for this. It's much easier for you to do it this way, number 9, than to try to just jump out there and be impulsive about it. And this also is significant because this card is for the number 9 and the 11 reduces to the number 2. And so with that, it tells me that one of the ways that these two numbers oppose each other is that with the number 9, It likes to be impulsive. But the number 2 says take your time. So what you have to do is find that healthy balance in the middle. The balance in the middle is to formulate that strategy. Okay. Let's see. I'm not kidding you. The 3 card came down and the downtime card came up. And what came to my mind is number 9, you're doing too much. You're trying too hard to do something that's too simple. This change or transformation is already taking place. Transformation is in your nature, number 9. This is something that should come easy to you. By now, you already know what it is. You know, everything that you're going through is happening for transformation. It's just a level up, number 9. And what this is saying is when you get to that next level, you can't pull this luck stuff. If I do this, this might work out. No, it's time to move on to an actual strategy and not just jump out there, number 9. So that's confirmation of that. So as far as the general reading, what the general reading was saying is that things may seem conflicted at times, things may seem chaotic at times, but you can't be distracted. A lot of times when things seem like chaos and conflict, it's usually a result of one thing, that is change. Most people are afraid of change because they're afraid of what's going to come ahead. They don't know what's next. A lot of it is that they need to be in the present moment. Everything in our life happens for a reason. And that's what this transformation is trying to tell you. This chaos and conflict has come about not to destroy you, but it's come about to help you reach the level up. It's time for you to do something different. As Albert Einstein said, insanity is doing the same thing over again and expecting different results. The only way you're going to get different results is you're going to have to step outside of your level of comfort and be willing to change. So now is the time for you to prepare. Begin to let go of those things that seem to be slipping away anyway. Stop resisting those things. Just let them go. Because when they go, they're making room for something to grow. Now, we're going to go on to our affirmation today before we seal the deal. Let's see. And so I'm just going to flip this book open and see what we got. Whatever you think you can do or believe you can do, begin it. Action has magic, grace, and power in it. If you know it's for you, go for it. I love you to life. This is how you manifest on purpose.